Now, it only took Sylvester Stallone 75 years of his life to make a TV series, but the movie star has done it now, and it's good. Let's talk Tulsa King.
I kept my mouth shut for 25 years.
I don't know what you're expecting, now that you're back.
I'm expecting adequate compensation.
Tulsa,
What's Tulsa?
I want you to go there. The horse race, the springboard mile. There's nobody doing nothing. You can do whatever you want.
Not exactly the welcome I was expecting.
Hello and welcome to Screen OD, the channel for people who love TV, movies and streaming. My name's Tim. I'm an editor and a journalist who's been writing and talking about the media industry for more than 15 years, which is nothing compared to the length of Sylvester "Sly" Stallone's career, one of the biggest movie stars in the world, perhaps best known for the Rocky franchise. This is a man who turns movies to gold, but now it's his turn to turn television to gold because he's playing the lead character in Paramount Plus original Tulsa King.
Name's Tyson. Welcome to Tulsa.
$2,000 a week. You drive for me now. What crew runs this neighborhood?
No crew up in here. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, so what's this one all about? Well, Dwight Manfredi, who is played by Sylvester Stallone, has been in jail for 25 years. Yes, you heard me right. 25 years. And the entire time he's been there, he has kept his mouth completely shut about all the things that he knew about a New York mafia crime family. So, when he gets out of jail, he's hoping he can return to his life of organised crime. However, things don't go exactly as he was hoping, despite him doing everything that was in the original bargain.
What'll it be?
I assume you don't have a Chianti.
You assume correctly.
I wouldn't have pegged you as the Boy Scout.
Why not? This wasn't necessary.
Because it turns out that being in the mafia, well, it's a younger man's game these days, and 75-year-old Dwight doesn't have as much of a place in the centre of the mafia family as perhaps he might want. And therefore, a little bit of a kerfuffle kicks off, I think is the best way to describe it, before he ends up going out to Oklahoma, to Tulsa, to be precise, which is where he is told there are new opportunities, even though he really feels like he's being palmed off. There are new opportunities in Tulsa because this is a place that the mafia don't really at the moment operate. So he can start a whole new racket out there. And so, in the end, that's what Dwight does.
What is that place?
It's a dispensary. Oh my God, is he dead?
No, he's taking a break. This is how it's gonna work. I'll protect you from the gangs
What gangs?
and the law.
This is legal.
You gotta know your risk.
There was no risk until you came along.
Now, Dwight may have been in prison for 25 years and he's not up to speed with everything that's going on in the modern world, as we're reminded when he doesn't really know much about iPhones or Ubers. But one thing he does know a lot about is a shakedown, and he knows how to be a gangster with impact. And as soon as he arrives in Tulsa, there is definitely impact. We see that immediately when he goes to a weed dispensary and starts a protection racket kind of on the spot, which is quite a surprise to people who run weed dispensaries in Tulsa, because that sort of thing hasn't been going on before. He gets himself a driver and he starts to intertwine himself into the life of several people in an interesting way in Tulsa.
Ever heard of Black McAdam? It's a motorcycle gang.
You're overplaying your hand. When I play my hand, you won't see it coming.
Any flammable liquids or firearms?
In the box? Nah.
Created by Taylor Sheridan, who is the co-creator of Paramount's big Western hit Yellowstone, and of Terrence Winter, who you will remember is from Boardwalk Empire fame. This is a show that has been really carefully crafted to bring both drama, and you'll see the dramatic elements of both of those shows that are aforementioned in this, as well as a kind of dry, dark humour. It's not a comedy, it's not a laugh out loud comedy with gag after gag, but there are comic moments in it, and there's some lines that are put into it and some parts that are definitely infused into the story from very early on that work really well. well with Sylvester Stallone, but also with the characters who are reacting to him. Now, I think if anyone had one of the biggest movie stars of the modern era agreeing to make their first ever TV series, you can't blame them for writing this show pretty much with Sylvester Stallone in mind. Everything is centered around his character, and clearly the way that it's been crafted is with his performance to be at the heart of it. You know, it's got the action that you would expect from him, and even as an older man, this is something that he does really well. It's got the interactions with other people that really bring alive his character. I think two that are worth pulling out are Tyson, who's played by Jay Will, who is the his driver, who very early on we start to see a relationship develop with. This is quite a key one in the series that will obviously be important as things go on. And then again, early on, we see him build a relationship with Bodie, who is the guy who runs the weed dispensary, who he goes in to shake down as one of the earliest parts of his budding protection racket in Tulsa. Now, Bodie is played by Martin Starr, who you will know if you're a fan of dark comedy from the excellent HBO series Silicon Valley, and he brings a lot to this party, and it really bounces well off Sylvester Stallone's character of Dwight.
This situation is not going to be controllable for much longer.
You got a pretty good appetite for someone who was just shot at.
If I stopped eating every time somebody tried to hurt me, I'd be a skeleton.
This is not something that runs at 100 miles an hour. If you want an action adventure that's going to kind of lift you off your feet and take you away, I don't think that Tulsa is the show for you. This is much more a show that centers on this interesting character in the great tradition of gangster shows, where you have an anti-hero, someone who you know is doing things that are wrong, but at the same time you kind of root for them and you want to know what happens next. This does that well, and it does it with an aging character as well, which I think is a nice twist on a genre that you've seen before. I don't think this is rewriting the rules of anything, but it's a show that if you like the kind of gangster world, if you like Stallone, you're going to have to like him because he's very much at the heart of it. And if you like a kind of dark, humorous element underlying any of your dramatic kind of experiences, this is one that I think you will definitely want to spend some time with.
I want to be upfront with you. It could get ugly.
Isn't they were in the mafia?
Nah, there's no such a thing.
This a one-off? Or one of many?
Too soon to tell.
If you're in the UK, you can get Paramount Plus with Sky Movies if you already have that, or you can subscribe to it separately. It's also available in different ways around the world. Thank you so much for watching Screen OD. It's been great to have you with me. If you've enjoyed the review, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and come back for more videos very, very soon. We'll see ya.